Hello, 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 and welcome to American in Yerevan. You're listening to 103.0 Radio Von.
With Steven Oxner.
And in MK.
And
it's
today...
Friday, and it's a holiday.
Yay.
Have you seen this thing, like, on the internet where they're like, every day is a holiday? You know, there's like, every day is the international
Yeah, exactly.
Big Toe Day, or International Clean Your Teeth Day.
Yeah. International Scratch Your Ear Day.
International Pet Your Puppy Day. No, but today is, I don't know if it's international, but definitely here it is apparent that today is Book Giving Day.
Yeah, Book Giving Day. And you know why it's today?
Why?
Because Hovhannes Tumanyan, the famous Armenian writer, poet, writer, is born on this day. Yeah, it's his birthday. He was born in 1923, and he's considered to be the national poet of Armenia. Stephen. Here we start our introduction to Stephen. Today is his birthday, so in his honor, we are celebrating this day.
Let me get my pen and my pad of paper.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready. Okay,
go ahead.
I'm listening. Okay.
Tumanyan wrote poems, novels, fables, critical and journalistic articles. He is known to the wide Armenian society for his simple but very poetic works. Yes, and Stephen, I think you work in...
Oh.
You're somewhat connected to Tumanyan as well, right?
Yes, in a certain way.
Yeah.
Not that I've...
Not that you
sad
know
because I don't know... I'm not acquainted with his work as deeply as I would like to be. But I do work at the state... Occasionally, I work at the Yerevan State Puppet Theater named after Hovhannes Tumanyan.
Right, and
so
we'll speak about it further connection. During our show tonight.
We are also giving away what is left of the books. We are, we're the last show of the day, so we've got slim pickings, as they say. But we have some books to give away, and we have tickets to American, not American,
Yerevan Music Awards.
Dang it, where is my brain? It's Radio Von Music Awards, which will be on the 28th of February, and it's going to be a great day. It's going to be my first time, so it could be your first time too.
Yeah, it's going to be fifth annual award.
The 5th awards.
Yeah, so it's like a kind of anniversary we're celebrating. It's going to be shown on TV, and where the tickets are limited, so make sure you call tonight 560901.
Also to win some other tickets, which we will talk about
later
when we come back. Stick around. We're here till 11, and we are here every Wednesday and Friday from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. on 103.0 Radio Von. Beside the laughing lake of Von, a little hamlet lies. Each night into the waves a man leaps under the darkened skies. He cleaves the waves with mighty arm, needing no raft or boat, and swims, disdaining risk and harm, towards the isle remote. On dark island burns so bright a piercing, luring ray. There's little... Come on, Ina.
Okay. Keep going.
There's lit a beacon every night to guide him on his way. Upon the island is that fire, lit by Tamar the fair, who waits all burning with desire beneath the shelter there. The lover's heart, how doth it beat? How beat the roaring waves? But bold and scorning to retreat, the elements he braves. And now Tamar the fair doth hear, with trembling heart aflame, the water splashing so near, the fire consumes her frame. All quiet is on the shore around, and black there looms a shade. The darkness utters not a sound, the swimmer finds the maid. The tide waves ripple, lisp and splash, the murmur soft and low. They urge each other clash, as ebbing out they go. Flutter and rustle the dark waves, and with them every star whispers how sinfully behaves the shameless maid Tamar. Their whisper shakes her throbbing heart, this time as was before. The youth into the waves doth dart, the maiden prays on shore. But certain villains, full of spite, against them did conspire, and on a hellish murky night put out the guiding fire. The luckless lover lost his way, and only from afar the wind is carrying in his sway the moans of Ah, Tamar. And though the night his voice is heard upon the cragging shores, and though it's muffled and blurred, by the waves' rapid roars. The word flying forward, faint they are, ah, Tamar. And in the morn the splashing tide, the hapless youth cast out, who battling with the water died in an unequal boat. Cold lips are clenched, 2 words they bar, ah, Tamar. And ever since, both near and far, they called the island Ah, Tamar.
Dear listeners, this was an exclusive poem reading by Stephen Oxner, American in Yerevan. First time ever in Armenia on Radio Van.
Translated by Vladimir Rogov.
Yes. Stephen, bravo.
Thank you.
I bow.
I thank you for introducing me to this poem. I had never read this poem before.
Thank you
I'm
for reading it.
Honestly, afraid to read translations. Yeah, because it seems like a lot of times it's dry and kind of without spirit. But here, no way. I understand this story.
Thank you, Mr. Rogov.
Thank you, Rogov.
Yeah, this Ahtamar is one of the well-known poems by Hovhannes Tumanyan.
Mm-hmm.
And among them are The Dog and the Cat, Maro, David of Sassoon, The Capture of Tumkabert, A Drop of Honey, The End of Evil. And the novels are Anush, Gikor, David of Sassoon, Nazar the Brave, The Kid Goat, and The Unlucky Panos are the fairy tales, actually, we used to read during our childhood. So this was really, really interesting how you read it, Stephen, and it was awesome, I think. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Stephen,
thank you for
what I'd like to do now is to introduce what you're doing on March 1st and the 3rd.
Because it is at the State Yerevan Puppet Theater named after Hovhannes Tumanyan.
Exactly.
That's
Stephen.
a good segue you just came up with.
It's a nice
is that
transition,
you came up with
isn't
on the
spot?
just today? You thought it all by yourself?
Just today. I'm so creative. So, thank you. So, dear listeners, today you have an exclusive chance to win 2 tickets to an original play performed by Stephen Oxner on 1st and 3rd of March, both in English and Russian. I think the first...
Yeah, you can choose which one you want. But I would prefer if you wanted to come to the English speaking one, because
for those who want to practice their English,
yes.
For those who want to check their abilities of understanding English language, you can just get tickets to
the 3rd of March. Yes.
And all that you have to do is just call 560-901.
Yes, 560-901.
And
tell us what your favorite book is. That seems pretty easy.
That is really easy.
Winning tickets.
And I'd like Stephen to introduce more. What is the play about?
Sure. Yeah, so I'll tell you some context first, okay?
Sure.
Because the play is not it's not original. It's an adaptation of a work of I think it's called a work of fiction. It doesn't really have a form because it comes from the form of maxims. And maxims, I didn't know what this was before I started working on this play. It's an ancient writing form that they used in philosophy, like the Greek philosophers, for example. They would tell a short story, a very short story that had like a really big meaning in it, and it explained a large spectrum of some kind of philosophical idea that they wanted to give to their readers or to their students. So they would tell this story similar to a parable, but not necessarily so personal. Like parables, you have to go through your own very personal associations to go and understand the meaning. I think this is maybe a little more simple, but the whole writing form, it comes from this, maxims. And the way it goes is this guy is 20, and he has a dream, and in the dream, there's a lady who says, you're going to die in 11 years. And then she shows his future on cards, and then he predicts his fortune on some like nuts.
Yeah.
And everything says, okay, you're going to die in 11 years. And from that impulse, he starts living in a completely different way. And he asks all of these questions about love and about life and about art and about becoming famous and what it is to be important and what it is to have a meaning.
So he starts searching.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing is that this original text by Ivan Verpaev, Sententia Pantelea Karmalova, is a part of a writing form or a writing movement that was called New Drama in the 90s and the early 2000s in Russia, where they were it seems like Russian writers were trying to understand what is this identity in Russia after the Soviet Union. What do we have as a social identity? And it turns out that a lot of what social identity was violence. So there's a lot of violence depicted in this show, but it comes out and
make sure you don't tell the whole thing.
Well, no, it culminates into an idea that that no matter what we do in our lives, we're doing the thing that we should, and it's the most important. So if you don't call your mother for weeks, it's important. If you cheat on your wife, that's important. If you just see someone who smiles at you on the subway, that's the most important.
So everything has point in life.
Yeah.
Everything has.
This is what he comes to
meaning
in his life, but I won't ruin the very end. Of
yeah. Okay. So what happens at the end?
Yeah. I won't say.
What will you learn from this play? You will know if you call 560-901 to get tickets, or you can purchase them right on spot at the Puppet Theater.
On the 1st of March, we'll do it in Russian, and that's the original text. On the 3rd of March, we're doing the American adaptation, so everything takes place in America.
And I think it's at 9 p.m., right?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. Okay, yes. Sorry. So 8 p.m. tickets are waiting for you, and now we're going to have a music break. What are we going to listen to?
We'll listen to Jonathan Butler. If I ever lose
this heaven.
I'm still listening to American in Yerevan. Listening to American classics. I put it on the Ritz. This is 103.0 Radio Von, and today is Book Giving Day. Book Giving Day, which means that I have a question for you, Ina.
I'm ready, always.
What, it's hard to say what your favorite book is, right? But could you tell me one of your favorite books?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
It's The Little Prince.
Oh,
actually,
The Little Prince.
I was preparing to speak about it anyway.
Cool. Tell me about it. Why? Well, I mean, I can imagine why. Just knowing you and knowing the book. Oh
yeah,
my gosh,
because, it's
book.
one of the books that I actually read when I was a child, and this is one of the books that, the grown-up books. It's a fairy tale for grown-ups, I think.
Right.
Yeah, and in each age you read this book, you get something new from it, out of it, I think. And this is what I actually do. I read it every now and then, because every time I find something new for myself in it. And I did some research on this book, and this is what I found out today. The novel is the 4th most translated book in the world and was voted the best book for the 20th century in France.
Ooh.
Translated into more than 250 languages.
Oh my gosh.
And dialects, also Braille.
Wow.
Also Braille. Selling nearly to 2 million copies annually, with sales totaling over 140 million copies worldwide. It has become one of the best-selling books ever published.
Oh my
gosh. Yeah, and the story starts with a pilot stuck in the desert who meets a young prince fallen to Earth from a tiny asteroid.
Yeah.
The story is full. We have a caller.
Oh gosh, we have some issues, technical issues. Oh, the caller hung up. Okay, keep telling me. Maybe they'll call back.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, and it's and the story is philosophical. It tells about the strangeness of the adult world,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it is strange that when I meet you, my first questions are, what do you do? What's your job?
Yeah.
Where do you live?
The practical
questions. How big is your house? Yeah. I don't ask you what your favorite color is.
You don't ask me what my dreams are.
What are your dreams?
And now what I would like to do is read some of my favorite quotes from this book.
Great quotes.
Yeah, so here we go. And now here is my secret. A very simple secret. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye.
Yeah.
This is what the fox tells to the little prince, remember?
Yep, I do.
All grown-ups were once children. but only few of them remember it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one. It is the time you have wasted for your rose that makes your rose so important. And the rose, for those who don't know this story, the rose is the little princess, like the beloved rose that he takes care of every day.
Here we go. Here it is.
Here
our
our caller is again. Here.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Stephen. Hello, Ina.
Good evening. Who are we speaking with?
With Daniel.
Hello, Daniel.
Hello,
Daniel. Great show.
That's an unexpected first name.
Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from Spain.
You're from Spain.
Wow.
Are you
Hola.
Are you calling from Spain?
No, I'm calling from France.
You're calling from France. Okay, well.
So, ça va? ¿Cómo estás? What language should we speak with you?
We can stick to English.
Okay, great.
Okay,
Great.
cool.
I won't complicate things for you guys.
Thank you. I've forgotten all of my French.
So, is this the first time you're listening to our show?
No, I've heard you before. You did a very interesting segment on blood.
Yeah,
Wow,
last
yeah.
week, blood.
We did it on 2 episodes on blood.
Yeah, cool.
Can I hear the other one online?
Of
Yeah,
course,
sure.
Of course. You can go to radiovan.fm, or you can go to the American in Yerevan page on Facebook, and we have all the recordings there.
Perfect. I'll do that when I get home.
Cool. So, Daniel, what's your favorite book of all times that you can think of right now?
Favorite book of all time? Put me on the spot.
It's tricky. That's a really hard question.
Well, you're pitting so many good authors against each other. Can I narrow it down to just one?
I don't know.
Just one. Like
well,
the first
I recently read
impression?
a very good one. Kafka on the Shore
Aha. Yeah.
by Murakami.
Murakami.
Japanese author.
Yeah, cool.
That was a good book.
What is it about?
It's a very strange tale about a lost boy trying to find himself.
Does he find himself eventually?
It's left ambiguous, I think, at the end. He doesn't really know what he's looking for, what he's found, but there's lots of strange episodes throughout that I don't think we can talk about on the radio.
Well, I think that's what we do so often. We don't know what we search for, right?
Yeah.
Right?
We just say it's myself, but then who is that?
Yeah.
Well, Daniel, you know what? You just won tickets by calling us. You won tickets to Steven's show, which is going to happen on 3rd March, I think.
Yes.
I think
the 3rd
English.
of March, you'd like to come see the English version. Will you be in Yerevan by then?
Yeah, I have to stop off in Bulgaria, but I think I'll make it for March 3rd.
Cool.
Great,
cool.
cool. I can give you 2 or 3. Would you like 2 or 3 tickets?
3 would be great.
Great.
3, cool.
Okay, there will be 3 tickets. Stay on the line, and I'll get your information, and we can have those tickets waiting for you on March 3rd at the Yerevan State Puppet Theater, named after Hovhannes Tumanyan on Sayat Nova, and it starts at 8 o'clock. So.
Perfect. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Ina.
And thank you so much for calling. Hope
there
we'll have a
song you'd like to listen to?
Song?
hard questions tonight.
Yeah, lots of favorites.
Just pick one.
Okay, It's On by George Duke.
It's On by George Duke. Okay, we'll look and see if we have it and put it on. Right now we're going to go to an advertisement, but stick around. We're here on American in Yerevan until 11 p.m.
And don't hang up. We're going to stick with you later.
Thank you for calling.
Yep.
Listening to a very groovy George Duke. It's On as a request from our Spanish
French.
Spanish friend who called from France, and he's going to be going through Bulgaria in a couple of days to make it by March 3rd to the show. But we have another caller, Irene.
Oh, it's...
Hello.
Good evening.
Irene.
How are you doing?
I would be so surprised if you didn't call,
If you didn't call on this
tonight
day,
on
it
this
would have been
day.
a sin.
Yeah.
I must confess
Book.
that today's subject is the most, for me at least, beautiful and most interesting subject to talk about.
That's something that we could have guessed, for sure.
You did it for myself?
Yes, we did it for you, especially. I think
you.
that Tumanyan, maybe it was born just for you, so that there could be a day like today.
Exactly. So Irene, the day dedicated.
That I love so much.
I think that Ina has a question for you.
Yes, I didn't hear.
It's going to be a kind of like a pop quiz.
Yeah.
It's a pop quiz for Irene.
Special for Irene. Are you ready?
Yes.
Irene, I'm pretty sure you've read Eric Maria Remarque.
Yes, of course.
Of course. So I'm going to read a quote out of one of his books, and you're supposed to guess which book is this. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Just a second. I'm going to choose one. Just a moment. Okay, I'm ready. Extraordinary creatures you young people are, altogether. The past you hate, the present you despise, and the future is a matter of indifference. How do you suppose that can lead to any good end?
Should I say from which novel it is?
Mm-hmm.
I can.
Arkham.
Ta-da, wrong one. I have another one for you. Ready?
Ready?
A second quote. You have three options. So now you have the second hint.
You're kind enough.
Here we go. Mark this one thing, my boy. Never, never, never can a man make himself ridiculous in the eyes of a woman by anything he may do on her account. Not even by the most childish performances. Do anything you like. Stand on your head. Talk the most utter twaddle swank like a peacock. Sing under her window. Anything at all, but one thing. Don't be matter of fact. Don't be sensible.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you have any version? Even help. SOS.
SOS? I can't. I'm sorry. I'm a neutral. I'm a neutral
Okay,
ally.
number 3.
Oh. Okay. We're getting all the quotes out.
I wandered through the streets thinking of all the things I might have said and might have done had I been other than I was.
You know, I have read 2 books from Remarque.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Triumfalna Arca, as I said.
And the other option is? Oh, Irene. You haven't read one of my favorite books by Remarque.
Which one is it?
It is
Tell us.
3 Comrades.
3 Comrades.
Yeah.
3 Tavares. But there are so many books I think you can tell us about. And I think
Can I ask you a question now?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Take your chance, Steven.
Interrupt this
yeah, sure.
conversation. Today is book giving day, and if you had like the perfect book to give to a person, what would it be?
Oh, it would be Somerset Maugham novel, The Theatre.
The Theatre.
Yes, that is one of my favorite books, and the heroine, Julia Lambert, is my favorite hero I have ever met, because I think she's the greatest diplomat, not in diplomacy, in politics, but in life.
Okay.
I love her so much, but I have not one favorite book. There are 3.
Okay, what are the other ones?
Do you have favorite quotes? You have to give us back a quote.
Let me say, they are 100 Years of Solitude.
Yay! Yeah! You just won the tickets because it's one of Steve's favorite books.
The next one is Tociara by Alberto Moravia from Italian literature.
Oh, I didn't read that one.
And the third is John Gossordi's Saga of Forsyths.
Oh, that's a good one.
And my name, when I asked my mother, why did you call me Irene? I don't know. You could call me Lilith or Arevik or any Armenian other name. They said that my name is from Saga of Forsyths, from Irene Forsyth.
So you just had to read it, Irene.
Yes, and I'm so happy that I loved that book. Do you imagine what it would happen if I didn't like it?
Yeah, that would be a curse.
Yeah, then
knowing that my name is from that novel.
Yeah.
Then you'd hate your name.
Yes. But now I love my name and that novel.
Thank you, Irene, for calling us.
Yes,
it was so nice. We were expecting your call, you know.
I'm so glad to hear it.
And is there a song you'd like to listen to tonight?
Oh, one of my favorite songs, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Californication.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice choice.
Good choice.
For you.
Okay, well, and don't forget that on March 3rd, you have 2 tickets waiting for you to the show.
Thank you
the
so
Maxims
much.
of Peter Pockets.
Contact
and stay
Steven
afterwards, okay? I want to hear what you think about the show.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for calling, and always call us back. We know you
will. Of course.
Have a good
evening.
Have
a good evening.
Since she talked about the 100 Years of Solitude, can I just read a couple quotes
from
that? I hope she's still listening. I think she is. They're very abstract, and there are so many characters in this book that it's easy to get lost. So I'm just going to read them, and we just have to accept them as abstract, right? Okay.
Sure.
Then he made one last effort to search for in his own heart for the place where his affection had rotted away, and he could not find it.
He could not.
And both of them remained floating in an empty universe where the only everyday and eternal reality was love. And lastly, but certainly not least, Gaston was not only a fierce lover with endless wisdom and imagination, but he was also perhaps the very first man in the history of the species who had made an emergency landing and had come close to killing himself and his sweetheart simply to make love in a field of violets.
Oh, how romantic, Steven.
Okay, we're going to listen now to Red Hot Chili Peppers' Californication.
And Mickey Mouse and every other motherfucker that's burning up in this house.
Listening to 3005. Clapping our hands to the present dance and Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse.
That's a good one. We're talking about books today because today is Book Giving Day, National Book Giving Day. I have something I have to share with you. Is this okay? I think that the institution, I'm not saying that I'm like a hippie or anything, but the institution is whack, you know?
You think?
It's whack. Today, for example, the Institute of Theater gave books to my students, like the what is it called? The student board gave them, books as a gift for Book Giving Day.
What books were those? Like useless books?
Yeah, like
History
one of them
Armenia.
I don't know. It was the tiny little like leaflet in Armenian. They didn't tell me what that was, but there was a Russian book there that was it was like Russian books for school age kids.
Cool.
Russian plays for school age kids.
So
and
useful.
it's like absolutely clear that
students.
these books were just lying around and no one
At
was
their
reading
house.
them and no one was ever going to read them, so they thought, oh, we can give these books to our students. Which reminded me of something. When I was a kid, I did not like reading. I have to say this. I spent my summers running around in the woods a lot, and like building forts and jumping on trampolines and getting dirty, and I did not read. And I can't say that it's because I did not love reading, because when I started reading and I started falling in love with books, it's not necessarily... Yeah, there is that aspect that we read like kind of the wrong books at the wrong times, But there's also this thing about just forcing us to do things because school wants you to, because it's in the program.
Yeah. You just have. And so have you noticed that there is this thing that you have to tell them a certain opinion about the characters of the story or the novel or whatever.
Yeah.
And if it's somewhat different from what they think, they will make you, oh, no, it's not the right way to describe.
Yeah, it's like school in a lot of ways, it's the land where opinion and fact are not necessarily separate.
Agreed.
Oh, so sad. Okay, but let's move on.
Yeah.
What was the first book that made an impact on you? Can you tell me that?
I cannot. Yeah, this is the right question because I won't remember now what was the very first book I read because it's probably a fairy tale.
About a caterpillar who was eating an apple, then a leaf, then a banana, and then turned into a butterfly.
Yeah, something like that. But I remember for sure that The Little Mermaid, the fairy tale, The Little Mermaid by a Danish author Hans Christian Andersen.
Yeah.
About a young mermaid willing to give up her life in the sea as a mermaid to gain a human soul.
The sacrifice of love.
Yeah, she fell in love with this prince, okay? And she gave away her feet, her fish tail, to have feet.
Yeah.
But she became numb.
Mute.
Yeah. And
because that was the deal. Like, it was the
deal.
She could lose her tail and get feet, but she wasn't able to speak.
Yeah, she lost her voice. She sacrificed her voice. But the stupid prince, I hated this prince, and it was such a trauma
Boys
for
are
me.
So dumb.
Yeah, sorry, but you know, it was such a trauma for me. I wanted to get inside this book or just go and find this prince and say, "Are you stupid? Can't you see?"
Because he doesn't understand.
Because he didn't understand, and he thought that because once the mermaid, before, how she met this prince, she saved his life when he was drowning.
He fell off the boat and saved him.
And she sang for him a beautiful song.
And he fell in love with her through the song.
Yes,
right?
and then at the end of the story, he meets this princess, and then he goes like, "Oh, you were the one who was singing me for me." Oh, I wonder who this is. We have another
interrupting a very, very,
very angry
conversation.
Hello. My childhood traumas. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Who are we speaking with?
My name is Lily.
Hello, Lily.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight?
Thank you, fine. What about you?
We're fine. Do you like The Little Mermaid?
What?
The Little Mermaid. The story about the mermaid.
Oh, yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
And do you hate the prince? Because he was stupid?
Be careful how you answer this question.
I'm gonna find you.
Why do you think that he was stupid?
Because he never understood that she was the one
listening
singing
with his
for
heart.
him.
He's looking at. He's using his eyes.
Yes.
He's trying to fall in love with his eyes.
Just like the little prince was advising.
Yeah.
To do just the opposite.
The opposite, right?
Okay, Lily Jan.
The opposite.
Okay, so do you know that today is the book giving day? And
yes, I know.
Were you listening to our show before? Do you know that we're asking questions about books tonight?
Of course I know. if I call, it means I know.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
what is your favorite book?
Oh, you know, it's a very difficult question for me because I have a lot of favorite books. I don't have only one. But if the format of your show is like I have to tell only one book, okay, let it be Three Comrades. Yep.
Three Comrades.
Yeah, Three Comrades.
Yeah. Hey, Three Comrades.
It's one of my favorite books.
Do you have any quotes?
Or
do you remember any quotes from this book?
Of course, I know a lot of, but no, I can't.
Come on, it's your favorite book, Lily.
It's one of my favorites. Not the only one.
Well, Lily, since you called today, We
and
have
since
an
your
offer
book
for
is
you.
the same with
Yeah.
my favorite book.
What?
We would like to offer you 2 tickets to Radio One Music Awards. Would you like them?
Oh, of course. I
Yay! Great. Yeah. So stick on the line. We'll talk to you about how we can get these tickets to you. And is there a song you would like to listen to today?
We can listen to. Let me think. It can be Emily Sandé.
Emily Sandé?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And which song?
Which song? It can be My Kind of Love.
My Kind of Love by Emily
Cool.
Sandé. Okay, it's
I
coming
love
up.
that one.
Yes, me too.
Stick around. We're here for another 30 minutes. Well, 27 minutes here on American in Yerevan. You're
Okay,
listening
I'll
to
enjoy it. I'll enjoy it.
103.0.
As always.
Thanks for calling again, Lilit. And
Thank you for tickets and for nice evening with you guys.
yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
listening.
thank you. So cute.
Have a great Friday.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. Bye.
You are still listening to American in Yerevan with Ina MK.
And Steven Oxner, and you still have time to call like 18 minutes before we finish our show tonight to get tickets to Steven's show and also to Van Music Awards.
Van Music Awards on the 28th of February, and the show that will be in Russian on March 1st and in English on the
March 3rd.
This is the English premiere, actually, in Armenia.
Cool.
We've done it in Russian before, but this is the first time we're trying it in English. Trying it on.
Good luck, Steven. I keep my fingers crossed for you.
Thank you. Try to break
So,
some
Steven, it's not fair, I think.
What? Well, it's not fair.
Because
Tell
I
me.
told you my first childhood trauma book.
Yeah.
And you didn't tell about yours. Which was your first book that impressed you, and maybe your favorite book you want to talk about?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I came to reading a little bit late.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 14, I had read books before, but the first book that I really got crazy about was called Ishmael by Daniel Quinn.
Uh-huh.
And it's a conversation between a gorilla and a man about just the sadness of civilization, and how civilization is based on the idea that if something is there, I can take it, and I can take all of it, like the Americans did with the buffalo
Material. Yeah.
in America, and now there's almost no buffalo left in the world. And I got really upset for a long time until actually I read what is now a book and a series of books that I'm absolutely insane about, and that made me fall in love with reading itself, and that is J.D. Salinger's books about the Glass family, starting with Franny and Zoe. I don't know if you've heard of that one, Franny and Zoe.
I think I heard it from you.
And I have some quotes, I think, that are particularly, well, they're ironic and funny. About Franny is this girl, well, it's a family in which there was this genius boy, Seymour, who was just dedicated so deeply to life and to the inner workings of life, and how the essential thing is not the thing that's seen, like in the Little Prince, this principle. And then he ends up killing himself, and the whole family has this giant trauma that they carry with them, which is the main point of all of these books that Salinger wrote about the family. And so Franny is going through a time in her life when she's in college, and she feels like everything is so fake and egotistical, and she's dealing with that on a very deep level, as well as her brother Zoe, who's an actor, and he's kind of like moving forward in his life and trying to deal with it in that way. So with that context, I'll read a few quotes just very quickly, okay?
Sure.
See if they're funny
Ready.
to you. Okay. First, I'm sick of not having the courage to be an absolute nobody.
Absolute nobody. Courage.
Then Zoe said, it's everybody. I mean, everything everybody does is so, I don't know, not wrong or even mean or even stupid necessarily, but just so tiny and meaningless and sad-making. And the worst part is, if you go bohemian or something crazy like that, you're conforming just as much, only in a different way.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
And then Zoe says to her once, who in the Bible besides Jesus knew that we're carrying the kingdom of heaven around with us, inside, where we're all too goddamn stupid and sentimental and unimaginative to look? And then there's another one. Nobody who is really using his ego, his real ego, has any time for any goddamn hobbies. And then the last one, just because I'm choosy about what I want, in this case, enlightenment or peace, instead of money or prestige or fame or any of those things, doesn't mean I'm not as egotistical and self-seeking as everybody else.
True. I think that's true.
Yeah, I have this feeling like Salinger is talking directly to me when I read his books, and I just can't. It's like the first time in my life where I started reading something and could not stop, literally.
I think that's the art of writing something.
Yeah.
That when the reader feels like it's especially for him.
Yeah, it's like a
or
personal
you
letter.
find, yeah.
Yeah.
You find something that is interesting just for you. Is there something you're reading right now?
Right now, I'm reading the Theater My Love, Teatr My Любовь by Yerevan.
Professional.
Yeah, so pretty boring.
Boring, but you need to read it, right?
No, I want to. It's very interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting book. What are you reading right now?
I'm reading The Art of Loving by philosopher Eric
Yeah.
Fromm. Yeah.
Holla back, girl. That is an awesome book.
He presents love as a skill that can be taught and developed.
Yeah.
He
Whoa.
rejects the idea of loving as something magical and mysterious that cannot be analyzed and explained.
Yeah, something to understand.
So it's interesting.
Oh, very cool. Fromm is awesome.
Yeah, his language is interesting. Although I read like a couple of pages a day.
It's a slow one. It's a slow read.
Yeah,
it's very deep.
A slow one.
Yeah.
And it's not only because I don't find time for it. It's just the way you want to read it.
You're reading like you're in a meditative way.
It's like
you read a couple
teaching.
thoughts and then let them stir around in you for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, more on books, a little bit more on books when we come back. You're still listening to American in Yerevan, an evening program in English on Radio Van every Wednesday and Friday.
With Steven Oxner.
And Ina MK.
But your love's got a hold on me, and now I can't move on.
And here we are at the end of our episode, Book Giving Day. Singing in the studio with you and Steven Oxner.
Singing and dancing and discussing books.
What a wonderful evening we had. I really enjoyed it.
Me too.
I enjoyed all of our conversations with the callers. It's great to have a caller from France.
Yeah.
If you have friends abroad that want to feel like they're closer to Armenia and have these themes talked about and hear about them, and they can call us internationally, people can call just regular phones on Skype for super cheap these days. So tell your friends abroad that we have the website where they can listen to us live on radiovan.fm, and that they can call us at 374 is the country code?
374-10
10560901. 374
10560901.
We're happy to take calls from people abroad.
And it's so nice to exchange cultures from all over the world.
Yeah, and I think for anywhere west of us right now, it's a really convenient time to listen to us because it's the whole day. All the way to Los Angeles, where you're just spending a nice morning with a cup of coffee and listening to Ina MK and Steven Oxner here on the radio station, talking about books.
103.0.
And we'll be back next Wednesday. As always, download the app, like us on Facebook, write to us on Facebook, and call us next time.
And
for now, stay groovy.
And can I finish this evening with one of my favorite quotes, from The Little Prince?
Yeah, because you didn't get to finish. Yeah, let's hear it.
It says, "People have forgotten this truth," the fox said, "but you mustn't forget it. You become responsible forever for what you have tamed. You're responsible for your rose." So,
you're responsible for your rose.
We're responsible for all the people we love and people we let in our lives.
Stay responsible, especially Friday night. Friday night is a crazy night for a lot of people, so
chill.